Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through mountains of information to bring you those really surprising insights that help you feel genuinely well informed. Today, we're really getting into the fascinating world of how demand is created.
hmm
We'll be looking at the psychological triggers, the cutting edge techniques, basically everything that influences our purchasing decisions.
Yeah, and we've got some great material insights from an expert discussion, plus some concepts that are quite visual, even though we're audio here, that really bring these ideas home.
Exactly. Our mission today is to cut through all the noise, show you that intricate dance between, well, human psychology and market strategy, helping you understand the why behind what we buy.
It's so true. We often think marketing is just a transaction, buy,
All
sell.
right, simple.
But when you really look closer, it's way more complex than that. It's actually this dynamic system influenced by just a huge array of factors.
Okay, so when you say a dynamic system, what kind of factors are we talking about? Things beyond just, the product itself or the price tag.
Oh, loads. It's not just one thing, right? You've got external stuff happening, but also our own internal thoughts, our biases,
Hmm.
the context, like where you are, the environment around you. Then there's our rational logic trying to figure things out,
Yeah.
but also our gut feeling, our intuition. It's this whole ecosystem, really, where everything's interacting.
And within that ecosystem, what's the marketer really aiming for? What are they trying to dig up about us?
The ultimate quest, I'd say, is always to uncover those really deep, often subconscious drivers of our behavior.
Like what specifically?
Well, the core stuff. Things like, honestly, laziness, fear, our dreams, our weaknesses, basic desires.
Mm.
The goal is to figure out how to motivate, understand, maybe soothe, or even tempt us, consumers, to convert that interest into some kind of action.
Like buying something, obviously.
Yeah, or becoming loyal to a brand, or just engaging more with their content. It could be any number of things.
Makes sense. It always comes back to these fundamental human things, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
But how do different industries actually use this understanding? I've heard some stories, particularly from like the gaming world, that are pretty surprising.
Oh, they definitely can be. If you connect this back to the bigger picture of what motivates us, some of the strategies they use really defy what you might expect from, say, traditional business.
Right, this is where it gets really interesting. Like the gaming industry, they're masters at using big data, right? Analyzing player behavior down to the click.
Deeply analyzing it.
Now, normally in CRM, customer relationship management, you'd think you reward your biggest spenders, your VIPs, give them
The
perks.
standard approach, yeah.
But I heard in gaming, for their whale users, the really big spenders, it can be the total opposite. Can you unpack that?
Yes. There's this fascinating anecdote from a gaming product manager. He explained that for players spending a lot of these whales, they might actually reduce their winning rates in the game.
Reduce them?
Yeah, so instead of making it easier for them to win, they might drop the odds from, say, 0.8% down to basically zero.
That seems completely backwards. Why on earth would they do that? Wouldn't you want to keep your best customers happy and, well, winning?
Well, the thinking is, if these top spenders win too easily, the challenge disappears. The thrill, it starts to fade.
Okay.
And they might just stop spending. It's the continuous chase, the pursuit of that win, the desire to beat the odds. That's what keeps them hooked and encourages them to spend more. So a really powerful example of how motivation works in ways that, yeah, challenge common sense.
Wow. Okay. And it's not just about winning or losing, is it? What about free stuff? I'm thinking of platforms like Epic Games. They give away lots of free games, right?
All the time.
Our sources suggest players download them, maybe hoard them, but then often never actually open or play them, even if the games were expensive originally. What's that about? What does it tell us about value?
Yeah, this points to something pretty fundamental in human psychology, I think. What we get too easily, without any effort or cost,
Mm.
we often just don't value it as much.
No skin in the game.
Exactly. If there's no investment, no perceived cost, the commitment just isn't there.
Yeah.
And that principle goes way beyond gaming. It affects how we value lots of things in our lives.
So marketers are digging into these human quirks all the time. How do they then turn these insights into actually creating demand? Our sources talked about several powerful psychological tools or heuristics that nudge our decisions. Let's maybe walk through those. There were 7 key ones.
Yeah, let's do it. First one is trigger, or you might hear it called priming.
Okay.
This is all about the subtle ways a feeling or a sensation
Hmm.
or even just an idea can subconsciously steer our thoughts and change our behavior without us realizing it.
Right, like that classic study where people read words about being old
About elderly wisdom, yeah.
and then they physically walk slower, leaving the room. It shows how these little cues can literally prime our actions. How does that play out online or in ads?
Well, it translates pretty directly. Think about using emotionally positive words like mother or happiness or success in ad copy. The goal is to spark a specific feeling that then prompts the response the marketer wants.
Hmm.
Or they might use fear, like in anti-drunk driving ads, or showing the perfect happy family using their home product.
Yeah.
That primes us too.
Okay.
There's a kind of memorable, if a bit dramatic, illustration. The stone through the window idea.
Uh-oh.
Imagine you're just relaxing at home, maybe watching TV, and suddenly, crash. A stone breaks your window.
Okay.
Tied to the stone is a note. Need quick window repair? Call this number. It creates instant fear, urgency, a very personal connection to a sudden problem, followed immediately by a solution. It basically creates the demand on the spot.
Wow, that's a direct. Okay, next up was anchoring. This is the one where our idea of value, especially price, gets skewed by the first thing we see or what's nearby.
Exactly. Simple example. A $5 chocolate bar. Seems pricey if it's next to $1 bars, right?
Yeah.
But put that same $5 bar next to a bunch of $20 artisanal chocolates, and suddenly it looks like a bargain. That first context or the comparison points, they anchor our perception.
I can relate to that. I remember going to Chiang Mai in Thailand where everything felt so cheap.
Right, low cost of living.
Then I came back to Taipei, and suddenly my usual lunch felt outrageously expensive. But then after I treated myself to one really fancy high-priced meal, even a, moderately expensive fried rice dish the next day felt totally reasonable again. That fancy meal reset my anchor.
Perfectly illustrates it. Previous experiences, extreme comparisons, they anchor us.
So strategically, retailers use this, like putting a $100 Target item next to $200 or $300 alternatives.
All the time, online and offline. It makes the $100 one look more affordable, better value. And it's interesting, a lot of us also tend to just pick the middle option when we're given a range of prices. That feels safe.
True. Okay, number 3, framing. This is about scarcity, limited time offers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Presenting an offer in a way that highlights scarcity or limited availability or a deadline, it creates urgency, pushes for immediate action.
We see this constantly. Limited edition, only 5 left in stock, sale ends Friday.
Mm-hmm. Even things like cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin. Part of their perceived value comes from the fact that there's a genuinely limited supply written into their code.
Right.
And you see stores like Costco, when a popular sale item starts flying off the shelves, they might put up a signed limit 2 per customer. Even if they have more in the back, that perception of scarcity makes people grab it faster.
So the scarcity doesn't even have to be real.
Not always. Marketers can frame a promotion with artificial limits just to tap into that urgency and encourage quicker decisions. It's about shaping perception.
Got it. Okay, next is expectation. This one is linked to the placebo effect, you said, focusing on the outcome.
Right. It's about highlighting the positive results, the emotional benefits, the better life the customer will have after they buy, rather than just listing the features of the product itself.
Like the medical placebo effect, you feel better from a sugar pill because you expect it to work.
Exactly. So in marketing, think about a Mother's Day gift ad. It won't just describe the necklace, it'll show the mom's face lighting up, maybe tears of joy, that whole emotional reaction when she opens it.
Ah, they're selling the feeling.
They're selling the feeling of happiness and gratitude you'll get by giving the gift. That's the expectation.
I saw an ad recently for one of those necklaces that projects a tiny photo onto a wall.
Oh yeah, I know the ones.
And the ad barely mentioned the projection tech. It was all about the emotional connection, the nostalgia, the tears, the shared moment. It really focused on the anticipated emotional payoff. That creates the desire.
Precisely. It's the same reason Disney ads pull at the heartstrings or movie trailers just show you the most exciting bits strung together.
Yeah.
Build that anticipation, that expectation of enjoyment.
Makes total sense. Okay, number 5, inertia. This is about our tendency to just stick with what we know. Resist change.
Yep. It's that inherent psychological laziness almost. We tend to maintain the status quo, stick to our habits, avoid big shifts in routine.
So this must be huge in product design, like software interfaces or websites. You want things to feel familiar.
Absolutely critical. Think about Windows or your smartphone's operating system or even just a website layout. Consistency with what users already know and how they behave is key.
So making adoption feel smooth.
Seamless is the goal. If you constantly make drastic changes to how things work, even if the new way is technically better, you risk confusing and frustrating people. That hinders adoption. You want it to feel like a natural continuation, not a disruption.
Okay. Number 6, arousal. This sounds interesting. Creating a specific emotional state to influence buying.
Yeah, it's about creating a particular emotional or psychological state, arousal, that can then positively affect purchasing decisions.
How does that work? What kind of state?
Well, some studies have shown, for instance, that men might be more likely to make a purchase after viewing images that trigger a pleasant emotional response, maybe images of attractive people.
Okay.
The gaming industry uses this a lot, too. Their ads often feature really stimulating, vibrant, refreshing imagery. The idea is to evoke excitement, enjoyment.
Get the adrenaline going a bit.
Kind of, yeah, that heightened state, that positive arousal can make the consumer more receptive to the product advertised, more likely to want that feeling, and associate it with the game, leading to a purchase.
So create the mood, then present the product.
Basically, it's about creating an emotional resonance or a heightened state that opens the door.
All right. And the last one, number 7, loss aversion. This is a big one in behavioral economics, right? The idea that losing hurts more than winning feels good.
It's hugely powerful. It's a cognitive bias where the psychological pain of losing something is significantly greater, maybe like 2.5 times stronger than the pleasure of gaining something of equivalent value.
Wow, 2.5 times. So how do marketers use that?
By creating intense urgency, emphasizing what you'll miss out on if you don't act now.
Ah, the FOMO, fear of missing out.
Exactly. Phrases like buy now or miss out. Or you might see signs, walk past, don't miss out. They directly target this fear of loss.
Or like during a big sale when something's discounted from $1,000 down to $500.
Right. Some people won't frame that as spending $500. They'll frame it as saving $500, avoiding the loss of that great deal.
That reframing is clever.
It is, and it shows that in certain situations, the threat of a loss or a punishment can be a much stronger motivator than the promise of a gain or a reward.
Okay, so those are the 7 heuristics, really powerful psychological tools. Now, what happens when you combine this deep understanding of human nature with something like artificial intelligence? How is AI changing the game for demand creation?
Oh, it's completely transforming it. AI lets marketers analyze just massive amounts of unstructured data,
Yeah.
especially from real-time customer interactions, in ways they never could before.
Like what? Give us an example.
Well, take something like Google AI Studio. They have features like webcam stream mode. The AI can literally interpret what it sees through your webcam in real time.
Whoa, okay, that sounds a bit futuristic. How does that create demand? If an AI can see my messy desk.
Huh. Well, think bigger. The insight is that marketers could potentially use visual cues to anticipate your needs before you even say anything.
Like,
Like, if the AI, analyzing anonymously, of course, sees you frequently struggling with an old clunky coffee maker or looking frustrated trying to fix a broken gadget,
okay.
it could instantly trigger a highly personalized ad or maybe a helpful article or an offer for a modern, easy-to-use replacement. That's demand being spotted or even created right in that moment based purely on observation. Marketing becomes incredibly responsive.
That is a whole new level of personalized. Wow. And what about share screen mode, where it sees your computer screen?
Similar potential, but focused on your digital interactions. In a sales or maybe a customer support chat, the AI could watch you navigating a website or trying to use a piece of software.
And then what? Tell you you're doing it wrong.
More like help you succeed. It could analyze data you're looking at on, say, a complex dashboard, maybe suggest the best type of chart for what you're trying to show, or even give you step-by-step guidance on using a feature by watching what you're doing.
Ah, so it reduces frustration.
Exactly. It reduces friction, provides immediate value, makes the whole experience smoother. That reinforces your desire for the product or service, makes you want to use it more, maybe upgrade or buy related things.
Okay. And its image generation capabilities. You mentioned a new version, J2.5. Beyond just making cool pictures, what's the demand creation angle there?
Yeah, the latest versions are powerful and apparently much more cost-effective than competitors, which is key.
Right.
But the real insight for demand creation isn't just making any image. It's the ability to create hyper-personalized visual anchors or priming cues almost instantly at a massive scale.
So custom images for individuals.
Potentially, yes. Imagine generating ad visuals that perfectly match your specific aspirational lifestyle photos. or subtly reflect your current mood detected from other interactions. This takes things like the expectation heuristic we talked about and makes it incredibly personal and scalable, far beyond traditional methods and potentially much cheaper.
That's huge. Incredible potential for businesses. Although, it's worth reminding everyone these really advanced AI tools, for now, they mostly work best in English, right?
That's generally true, yes.
Well,
But primary development is often English first.
and here's a really crucial point for you, the listener, that came up in our research. Just using AI to spit out reports or generate cool images isn't enough.
Absolutely not.
True value, real personal or business growth, comes from actively engaging with what the AI produces, analyzing it, questioning it, really absorbing the insights to make sure they're actually relevant and useful for you.
Couldn't agree more. It's a tool, not a magic wand. Engagement is key.
Okay, so beyond visuals, AI is also huge in analyzing language, right?
Mhm.
NLP and transaction speechcraft analysis, what's that about?
Right. Natural language processing. This is where AI analyzes spoken conversations, like customer service calls or sales pitches.
To optimize sales, presumably? Find the magic words?
Essentially, yes. To identify specific words, phrases, even the tone or patterns in conversation that are statistically shown to significantly increase the chances of making a sale.
Like the sequence of things.
Exactly. Does starting with encouragement and agreement before making a suggestion work better? The AI can analyze thousands of calls to find out. It can also spot differences. Maybe you need a slightly different approach or different speechcraft when selling to men versus women, for example. It's about tailoring the conversation.
Which leads nicely into salesperson matching, using analytics to pair the right salesperson with the right customer. How does that boost demand?
It taps into that human connection element. The analysis might look at demographics, age, maybe even personality indicators, trying to find pairings that just click.
You have an anecdote about this, don't you? Buying a phone.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I was buying a phone. A male salesperson was explaining all the features, very logical. But then a female salesperson from the next booth just sort of subtly joined the conversation, offered a compliment, changed the vibe. And she completely changed my mind about which phone I wanted. It wasn't just logic anymore. It was rapport, maybe that frequency matching idea where personalities just mesh well. Those subtle interaction dynamics can make a customer far more receptive and boost the chance of a sale.
So it's not just the product, it's the chemistry sometimes.
It can play a surprisingly big role.
Okay, what about after the sale? AI for return reason analysis.
Yeah, this is about understanding why people return products. AI listens to those customer service calls again, identifies the main reasons. Was it price? Did they have side effects? Was it just not what they expected?
Can it go deeper? Like identify types of customers who return more often?
It could try, yeah. Analysis might reveal if certain customer segments, maybe based on demographics or past behavior, are more likely to return things. Or maybe some segments are more tolerant and just don't bother returning even if they're not thrilled. And importantly, if customers complain about price and mention competitors, that's gold for competitive intelligence. It tells businesses where they stand and helps guide future product development and pricing to better meet what the market demands.
Very valuable. And lastly, service quality analysis.
What?
Using AI to monitor customer service interactions.
Right. This is about ensuring quality and consistency. AI can scan interactions for red flags, maybe staff using inappropriate language or phrases known to make customers angry or defensive.
Like discussing sensitive topics, maybe?
Could be. Or just using language that sounds dismissive. It can also spot subtle linguistic cues that suggest service quality might be slipping overall, allowing managers to intervene proactively with training or support.
So it's about maintaining standards and keeping customers happy long term.
Exactly. It helps address those small but critical communication issues that can really impact overall satisfaction and ultimately loyalty and future demand.
So we've really covered a lot, from basic human psychology, those heuristics like anchoring and loss aversion, all the way to these incredibly sophisticated AI tools analyzing our conversations, our screens, maybe even our environment. It seems marketing is digging deeper than ever into our nature.
It really is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
utilizing both those time-tested psychological principles and these cutting-edge analytics to understand and, yeah, ultimately create demand. The real power comes from tapping into our innate needs, fears, desires, often in ways we're not even consciously aware of.
And understanding this whole system, it's not just useful for marketers, is it? It's a critical lens for all of us just to understand the world around us and how we're influenced every day.
Absolutely. It empowers you as a consumer, too.
So maybe here's a final thought for you, our listener, to take away from all this. Sometimes, if you want to truly build something groundbreaking, a whole new market or revolutionary solution, maybe you first need to be willing to disrupt or even, in a sense, destroy what's already there, the existing status quo.
That destruction for construction idea.
Exactly. It's a powerful, maybe sometimes uncomfortable idea, but it might be what drives real innovation and truly reshapes the landscapes of what we want and what we buy.
A challenging thought, but often true. Innovation rarely comes from just tweaking the edges.